The virus is still here. Back to December of 2019, I constantly receive a news on my phone about a new kind of virus had been found in Hubei, Wuhan. Some hospitals received patients with similar symptoms. We thought it was just a normal flu in the spring. Nobody gave a shit about it. Well, 16 months have passed. It has raged around the world. It has taken so many lives. It's wreaked havoc on every side of the world. An unprecedented tragedy. We say we worked. We have tried to fix the problem. We have made a series of restrictions to the pandemic containments. But the virus is still here. In London, thousands march against lockdown. The marchers appeal to take off the face mask. They say 99.97% people are not dying. They say all of this is a scheme and conspiracy. In the United States, the attention to election has already faded. The virus comes back to the center of public view again. This nation has the top infection rate. In India, there's more than 300,000 new confirmed cases. Of this, 25th. This number of just one day equals 3 times of total cases of all time in China. Why? We fought for it in all the ways we can think of. But the fact is, the world is still under the shadow of the coronavirus. It doesn't just vanish. It doesn't vanish like magic. The world is still under the pandemic. Some countries are arrogating the vaccines that are much more than their populations, and some of them don't have enough incinerators to cremate the bodies, and some of them are busy with finding a surname for the virus. Some of them insist they use this pandemic containments to deceive themselves. And these are what I hate. I hate the institution shows contempt for lives. I hate the futile pandemic containments. I hate this infamous vaccine monopoly. These selfish idiots. These murderers. 16 months ago, when the pandemic just began, we thought it came from Wuhan, Hubei province. My home is in Hubei province, a third-line city near Wuhan. During that time, there was strong intensity in the whole country. Everyone put on their masks. I remember it clearly. I just ended my semester and on my way back home from Shanghai. It was 17 January. I was on the train, and when it passed Wuhan, people got on, and it looked like everyone was on the edge, even if they were wearing their masks. As soon as I arrived home, I took a shower immediately. I washed all my clothes and sprayed the alcohol on all my personal belongings. These were all I could fit out to protect my family away from the virus. 6 days later, the Wuhan government announced lockdown. The news on television was all about the death and the new confirmed cases. Hubei became the city of terror and the dead zone. People were dying every day, and the picture of hospital and patients made me very nervous and anxious. It's just because I had passed Wuhan when I went back home. I had close contact with the people from Wuhan. If my parents or grandparents had been infected by the virus and thus passing away, I would be guilty all my life. But fortunately, there was no one got symptoms in my family. But soon, some residents in my community were confirmed to be infected, and my city began lockdown, which was true lockdown, true strict lockdown. People stopped working and kept staying at home. At every community exit, there was volunteers who supervised to make sure everybody was stayed at home. There was no car on the road. The city fell into the dead silence. We wanted to hang out, to the restaurants, to visit friends. To work, we wanted freedom. But when we saw the medical staffs from all over the country to help Hubei people, Wuhan people, they were risking their lives, their health, to save their lives day and night. We realized the freedom, the so-called freedom, was not essential at all. We chose to stay at home because nobody wanted to break this great job that took entire China's effort. Because nobody wanted the doctors' efforts, the soldiers' efforts, the workers' efforts to be wasted, to go in vain. We choose to stay at home. You call it violating human rights. I call it protecting human lives. It's just because these efforts from all these people, Wuhan finished the lockdown in only 2 months later. The inborn sakura in this city was so beautiful in the spring. And she is full of vitality again. We can hang out, eat in the restaurants, visit friends, to work again, but we still haven't forgotten the pandemic. People still wear the masks no matter where they are. Another 2 months later, I got a job. My company was eager to get rid of the crisis, to keep the clients and protect the market. At that time, the government allowed us to travel, so we began a business travel. That was a special experience that let me know how powerful the virus was, even if it had already been controlled. My colleagues and I, we left Hubei for Zhejiang province. When we finished the whole day work, we want to find a hotel that we can sleep in. Just sleep. But when they noticed we were from Hubei, they became tense and refused to provide any service. Although we were not infected, although at that time Hubei had already been the safest area in the world. We were tired, we just want to have a sound sleep. We keep looking for a hotel that could accept us. And I keep asking myself, why are they so mean? Why don't they want to make money? We were angry and confused at that moment. But thinking from now, they just did the right thing, they thought. Even if we were safe, they had to prepare for the worst. It's none of business with money. It's not about prejudice. It's just the attitude to the pandemic. Every single person regards the pandemic protection as their responsibility, so that China can make such outstanding achievements. Although every step of Chinese pandemic containment is clear, I don't think all of countries on the world can just simply copy it, because it requires a group of selfless people. It requires the strong united people. It requires the government that cares about people. It requires the sacrifice. It is simple but hard. It is why China can control the coronavirus in only several months. And believe me, so far, only China did it.